The video is Lila Nishmas Shmo Bach Min Chaim Tzvi. I want to be able to arm the Olam with the right books. These are suggestions how to make use of and really actualize on these amazing days, the 21 days between Shivas B'Tammuz and Tisha B'Av. As we mentioned, I might have mentioned this also on Shabbos. I said, by many, unfortunately, we just want to get through these 3 weeks so we could get to those days of happiness and vacation and music and everything else. But I'm going to show you a few things. Number one, Breslov put out the sweetest hour. It's basically describing the power of a Tikkun Chatzos. But there's other books. I'm just giving you some suggestions of how to see how sweet Tikkun Chatzos is, what it means, and as I mentioned, the custom of saying it during the day. But then there's another sefer that someone gave me. It's a copy actually by a Talmud Chacham, a tzaddik. His name was Rabbi Yaakov Meir HaKoyen from Lukava. I don't know if anyone heard of it. Printed in 1923 in Lublin. And this sefer is mamish eye-opening about these 3 weeks. And he says, if I could only read every word, it's so holy, and if I could only tell you I understand every word, but he discusses basically these days, and he puts it into the words, into the pasuk, Ach et shabsoisai tishmoiru. It's in Pashas Kisisa. Ach is Gematria 21, Aleph, Chaf. He explains that these 3 weeks were given to us and were told to Moshe Rabbeinu when the Mishkan was being put up, that even when we go into Galus and we're going to be in the darkest of places and the darkest of days, and the Galus, the experience of exile, we should know, Ach et shabsoisai tishmoru, the 21 days of the 3 weeks, each one of those days equals to Shabbos, equals to these Galus, to the revelation that took place when the Mishkan and the Beis HaMikdash were up. Can you imagine a more powerful time? So these 21 days, not just the Shabbos that we mentioned, each day equals a Shabbos. That's how powerful these days are. Now, of course, to jump in and start saying Tikkun Chatzos and everything else, you take it one step at a time. And I'll tell you one of these sweet stories that they quote from a Talmud from Rav Nachman from Breslov at the Talmud. So this Talmud, of course, I'm sure heard from Rav Nachman how important it is to get up by Chatzos. So he asked someone, please wake me up. Every time the guy would wake him up, a few minutes after he would pull out of bed, you know how it is, he wouldn't even pull out of bed, he would get up, fall back to sleep. This went on for a while. Finally he came to Rav Nachman, broken heart. He said, I want to get up by Chatzos, I can't do it. So Rav Nachman told him the following. He said, they figured out, he tried. Even after he was able to get out of bed finally, he would have headaches and he couldn't focus. He said, don't give up. Get up at 3 o'clock. For you, 3 o'clock is Chatzos. This Yid, for the rest of his life, he was known. He would walk into the Beis Midrash. Everyone knew it was 3 o'clock. He figured exactly where he's holding. A person today, where we're holding, we're so far, but it doesn't matter. A person shouldn't therefore give up and say, Tikkun Chatzos, what's got to do with me? Even if it's once a week. In fact, Rav Shlomo Zalman Miladi, the Baal HaTanya writes that a person at least should try to do once a week Tikkun Chatzos. It has such an effect. So a person has to start with the smallest steps, but realize that these 3 weeks, in the darkness, there is so much light that a person can get. And this is not me, it's Rabbi Yaakov Meir HaKoyen telling us how much growth we could have, and take the small step. Figure out where you are. Are you in the 3 o'clock, the 4 o'clock, even the 5 o'clock? And when you get up and you speak to the Rebbe and say, I want to do Tikkun Chatzos, I want to say a little bit, get sweet hour, get something that taps you into this koyach. Look a little bit at Megillas Eicha. There's so many secrets in Megillas Eicha. And this way a person will be able to make the most out of these 21 days and not just say, I can't wait. This time, these 21 days are going to be like Yontif. They're going to be like Yontif us. Hatzacha.